Happy to have my next guest on the show for the first time. You know who it is, Ed Davis, who will be back in action on February the 11th at NEF 51 when he meets Kyle Pufahl. Ed, how you doing?
Ryan, I'm awesome, man. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I can't wait to see you back in action, man. This will be your third amateur fight. So far, you're two for two. You've looked great in both of your fights. I want to start there. Let's start with NEF 50, your most recent one. That was a round one finish of Patrick Mitchell. And I mean, to be honest, just looking at that fight from the outside in, you guys looked like you were in different weight classes. Is that something that is accurate? Did you feel like that going into the fight?
When I seen him on weigh-in day, I did, and I just feel personally he's too small for the division.
Yeah, and he's going to be fighting a guy you know pretty well, Jackson Campbell.
I
Uh,
do.
at this card that you're fighting on, NEF 51, they're probably a little bit more similar in body type. What can you tell me about how Jackson's been looking so far in camp?
Dude, I'm super excited for that fight. Jackson's a stud. This is going to be that kid's coming out party for sure.
Now, is there a big size discrepancy between Jackson and Patrick? I mean, you would know.
Uh, no, they're about the same size. About the same size.
Okay,
Jackson's probably a little leaner,
little
but
leaner.
aside from that, builds, heights, maybe an inch or two different in height.
So going into that fight with Patrick Mitchell, I mean, your confidence must have been through the roof, especially after your NEF 48 win, and that was against the guy in Joe Peters that he looked the part. I mean, that was at
But
170, a big dude. What was your confidence level like going into that second fight?
yeah, no, dude, it was there. I was riding the high off of that fight with Joe because Joe's a stud. That kid, and he's a big boy. I mean, his only other fights were at middleweight and 200 pounds, I think. So
Yeah.
he had a stretch to make 70. Then you go from fighting guys that big to guys at 55. It's two different worlds, you know?
As far as the stoppage goes for that Joe Peters fight, what did you agree with it? Some people thought maybe it was a little early.
My personal opinion is the stop was early, but I don't think it was going to get any better. I think that I was going to have a finish and it was going to be around there, but I would agree that it was stopped early.
How did you feel? That was your debut fight. How were the nerves making the walk to the cage?
Dude, it feels good. Like it feels like it's something that I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Did you like fighting outside in Portland? How'd you like that?
Outside was awesome. If I could fight every venue outside during the summer, that would be the ticket.
Okay. And obviously, I mean, we're going to get into this matchup with Kyle, but this third fight, this is going to be in Bangor. Do you feel any more pressure for this fight?
No, no. I'm gonna go out and do my thing, man. That's it.
I imagine that you're going to have a lot more support because this is roughly your hometown, right? I mean, you live in the area, you train at Titan Athletics. It's right over the bridge in Brewer. You're going to have a lot of people there screaming your name. I have to imagine that doesn't add any extra pressure for you.
No, no. That's all. That's all part of it. It comes with fighting. Once the door's closed, it's a fight.
All right. Well, and as I said earlier, man, you're looking fantastic so far. Now, this fight will be at what weight class?
155 pounds.
Okay. Goodness gracious, man. I didn't imagine you to fight at lightweight. I thought welterweight would be your home because I mean you're a big guy, you're tall, you got a lot of muscle mass on you. Was the plan always to get down to lightweight?
Yeah, I was. When we planned the first 170, I was. I didn't want to add a weight cut to the first fight jitters or anything like that. So, I mean, I walk around 180 pounds roughly. So a cut to 70 is nothing.
Okay. And with the impressive facial hair, I mean, you got the
Oh
cabbage
yeah,
up
the
top
dreads.
and you got the big beard. If you were to shave all of that, could you make 145?
I think so. Absolutely think so.
How long did it take you to grow that, man? Because when I first met you, I mean, it wasn't anything nearly like that.
The beard or the hair?
Both.
4 years probably.
Okay. And you're just gonna keep
Maybe
going?
2 years on the beard. The hair's been about 4.
Or man, what I got going on right now, this is a month, and this is about as long as it gets. It just stops growing for me. So I couldn't get that beard if I tried. How long do you think you could get that?
Dude, right here it stops growing.
Start
I
growing.
I don't think that I've shaved my chin or my beard in 2 years. And right there, That's the
All right.
spot.
Does it get itchy? Like, does it bother you at all, especially when you're training?
I don't even notice it now. I mean, I get yanked, some hairs get pulled, but that's all part of it.
All right. So lightweight is the weight class moving forward. If you had the right matchup at 170, would you entertain that, or are you only trying to fight at lightweight right now?
Lightweight's home right now.
Lightweight toes.
If
Okay.
something real appealing came at 170, that worked as well. But 55 isn't a horrible cut for me either.
Okay, very good. Well, I know that you fighting has been a goal for a really long time now. And, I wasn't aware of this until we spoke pre-fight down in Portland, but you were actually delayed from, making your debut because you were having some problems with seizures, and you've been seizure free now for a really long time. Can you kind of dive into that a little bit and tell me, how that came about, how you're doing now, and maybe what type of things you have to do to prevent it from happening again?
Everything's good now. Everything's awesome. It was just something that carried from my teen years and my early 20s that they were a little nervous about. Then we're good. We're good now.
That had to have been
Everything's all
scary, though.
taken care of with that. Happy, healthy.
Okay, very good. I mean, that had to have been scary though for you, right? I mean, that couldn't have been an easy thing to go through.
Yeah. I mean, it's like anything really. We all got some shit to get through, right?
No, that's very true. Well, okay, man, I'm very happy for you that things are going well now. You don't have to deal with that anymore. Tell me a little bit about, your day-to-day life now with training at Titan Athletics, and your job. I believe you're still a police officer, right?
No, I work for myself. Me and I've got a partner. We're business owners in a little construction company that keeps us busy day to day. We're actually really busy right now. Um, Aside from that, just doing the training. Happy life with the family.
Let's plug your business. What's the business name?
It's MD Carpentry.
MD
We
Carpenter.
yeah, we do everything right from the ground up, build houses.
Very cool. And so that obviously allows you to kind of make your own schedule, I assume.
A little bit. I work 40 hours a week. So I train in the mornings before work, I train in the afternoons after work.
And as I mentioned, Titan Athletics, one of the best gyms around. Who are your main training partners? Who do you have around you day to day?
Oh, dude, I've got so many good training partners. It's awesome. I've got phenomenal coaches. I've got Jeremy Tyler, Eddie Benjamin. It's my two head coaches. I've got Devin Corson, Bruce Boyington. I've been training a lot with Nate Dorr out of Acadia BJJ. I got a buddy of mine, Jordan Denley. He's looking to make a debut soon. And then I get some cross training in with Brett Martin, Felipe Gunter.
Okay,
A
so
lot of good dudes. A lot of high
first
level
class
guys.
guys.
Those first class guys are killers. They're killers.
Do you ever make the trip down there?
Yeah. I try to get down there at least once a camp.
Okay, really
We
good.
like to get in usually 2 to 3 sessions a camp, whether it's me fighting, Brett fighting, Felipe fighting.
Makes sense. You got a well-rounded group of training partners around you, my friend. Well, tell me a little bit, I guess, about the evolution of your game. When I first saw you at Team Irish, I know you were kind of like a gritty fighter, someone who liked to get in there and mix it up. How have you evolved?
That's it, man. Just the same thing, just getting better. Just grind. That's it. Really prefer to kickbox. That's my jam.
Yeah.
But not scared to grapple.
All right. And the BJJ, that aspect of your game, you're really confident there. If this fight hits the mat.
Absolutely. BJJ is obviously a staple at Titan Athletics.
Mhm.
We're known for our jiu-jitsu. We've got really good jiu-jitsu guys, and I get to train with monsters every day.
What are your goals as a mixed martial artist? What are you hoping to accomplish, moving forward, and maybe, turning pro one day?
That's the dream right there. Go pro. Make it big like everybody else. Just got to outwork them.
How far away do you think you are from turning pro? How many amateur fights would you like to have?
I'd like to go pro sooner rather than later, I think.
It's
hopefully by summer, I think.
Oh wow. Okay. So not too many amateur fights. That's not necessarily a bad thing. How old are you now?
I'm gonna be 30 this year.
30. Okay.
Late starting. So we gotta get to that pro circuit faster.
Very good. When you look at the pros in the New England area, like the guys that fight at 155, I'm sure you're paying attention to, some of those guys who you might fight in the next year or two. Like, how do you feel you stack up right now? Do you feel like your skill set is on par with some of those professionals?
Absolutely, I do. I feel like my stand-up's there with all of them. My ground game's there with all of them.
Are you getting that same feedback from Jeremy and Eduardo?
My coach is pretty confident as well. So, and like I said, I've known them guys for a long time. I've been training with them for a bit. So,
No doubt about it. Well, let's talk about NEF 51. It's called the Banger in Bangor. It's going to be at the Cross Insurance Center, February the 11th. I already asked you if you're going to feel pressure for this fight. You seem supremely confident, man. And this, I think, without question, has to be your toughest fight so far. And Kyle Pufahl, he's 4-1 at Anostos MMA. All four of his wins are finishes. The lone loss was for the Cage Titans title, and that was a loss to Miguel Savassin. What do you think of this matchup? How do you like it for yourself?
dude, I love the fight. I really do. I think that the NEF fans are going to be in for a show. I've got a real good feeling me and him are going to meet in the middle of the cage and we're just going to throw down. One of us, I don't think it's going to be a decision fight.
Have you watched tape on him? Like, do you feel like you're going to be able to exploit a certain area of his game?
I've watched his film. It's going to be a dogfight. That's it. I don't see any area where I believe he's better than me.
Do you feel like you have the tougher chin? Like if this is going to come down to, who can take the better shot, that's you, you're that guy?
I believe so. I mean, that's one of those things that we're not going to find out until February 11th, right?
Mm-hmm. Are you training for that, like in camp, as far as like your sparring goes? Is that something that maybe you're really preparing for this to be like standing in the middle throwing bombs?
I am preparing for this fight to be anywhere for 5 rounds, and that's that.
Give me your official prediction. How do you get this done?
I'm going to stay humble because I that's the way that I am, and I'm going to be ready for 5 rounds. I don't see it lasting more than 3, and I think I'm going to finish him.
And obviously, as NEF just announced, this is for the title. I mean, what does that mean to you? How excited are you to fight for the title here for New England Fights?
Dude, I'm super excited. Matt is an awesome guy to deal with, and he really helped me get a fight that I wanted for the belt as well. He got me a high-ranked guy who's a dog who likes to fight, and that's what I'm happy about.
I know if an old friend of yours, an old training partner of yours, Ricky Dexter, used to be the amateur welterweight amateur title holder. What is it going to mean to you to bring a belt back to Titan Athletics, formerly Team Irish? That's got to be would be a pretty proud accomplishment, I'd have to think.
Yeah, that'd obviously be the biggest one of the career so far, and I just want to keep on rolling forward after that. Stack the belts. Let's go.
I know right now you're not looking past Kyle. That's who you're laser focused on. But as far as defending the belt, if you do win this title, you talked about maybe turning pro in summer of 2023. Would it be safe to say that you would at least defend the belt once if you do win it?
I'd like to, but if we go pro before them, we go pro before them. If we can get a matchup, we can get a matchup.
Give me an example of someone that's in the UFC or Bellator that you feel like your style is like. Who do you think that you're similar to?
I haven't got to show it yet, but a Dustin Poirier, a nice volume striker, pour the pace on, be there for 5 rounds for a fight.
I love it. The diamond. That's a great comparison right there. Do you have a nickname? Has anyone in the gym given you a nickname yet?
I haven't gotten a nickname yet. I don't have any official nicknames yet.
Okay. Maybe that's something that you guys need to talk about.
Yeah, I think so. Somewhere down the road. It's got to fit in soon.
Awesome, Eddie. Well, listen, man, I can't wait for this fight. Again, NEF 51, February the 11th. Ed Davis looks to bring a title back to Titan Athletics. Great having you on the show for the first time, buddy. Before we do sign off, I want to give you the floor. Please tell people where they can follow you on social media. If you have any sponsors, anything to plug, like your business, the floor is yours.
Beautiful. I've got a few sponsors here. I want to list off real quick. Whole Shot Trucking, Advanced Installations, Jeff Ridley at Van Sickle Kia, UB Performance Institute, PMP Transportation, Check Out Guide Services, Maine Veterans Project, UCAN Inc., VIP Tires and Service, Maine Space, Quaddy Spray Foam, Jim Cole's Carpentry, Canuck Investments, Maine Refined K9, and Recovery CBDs, sponsors that I have going into this fight. I want to say thank you to them because none of it's possible without your sponsors. You can follow me on Instagram at Davis or at Davis93, and then I do have Facebook as well. Aside from that, I just want to give a huge thank you to my coaches and my teammates for helping me grind through all these camps and always being there for me. And the biggest thank you always goes to my wife and my baby because they're there to support me no matter what.